out of the book. This is actually how you make an omelette.
It is, except it's sticking to the pan. So you should have a non-stick pan,
yes,
and you just kind of shake it.
I never knew you had to shake the pan for an omelette. Never knew that.
I didn't know that. No, I don't shake it.
Because an omelette shouldn't have any
So you shake
colour.
and mix at the same time?
Yeah, it's like doing this. You know, when you...
Oh dear, we're in trouble then.
Right, well, I'm glad you're here then.
Yes.
But no, Simple to Sensational, you can get this book. It is absolutely beautiful and inspirational. But in actual fact, very easy to do. A lot of the recipes are literally very simple as well. So we'll see that one later on. £20, I would really urge you to give it a go. 703 515. Welcome back. Now, breakfast is surely one of the best meals, and it doesn't matter what you're served up. If it's served up by a fantastic chef, you know it's going to be great, and that's exactly what I've got this morning. Chef Jun Tanaka is here, and we've got Simple to Sensational,
yes,
which is your new book that is out right now. You can have it for £20, and that includes your post and packing. 703 515 is your item number. And as I say, I took this home almost a week ago, and I've cooked several recipes from it. Absolutely love it. In fact, one I've done 3 times already. It was so good. And the whole concept of Simple to Sensational means that it's really good for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea of the book, rather than having 100 completely different recipes, is to have 50 very simple ones that anyone can do, from someone who's never cooked before, and for each of those ones, with a few chefy tricks or even changing ingredients, you can transform that very simple recipe into something sensational and more restaurant-like.
Yes, I mean, you have just done that. You've given us a weekday tea, some of which, you know, the one you're cooking today, in actual fact, you say in the book, you can do this quicker than you can microwave a meal. There's another one that you can cook in almost, there's a pasta dish that you can cook in almost the time it takes you to read the recipe, which is just fantastic. But equally, when you're looking for something just a little bit special, or something just to stretch you, if you enjoy your cooking and you're looking for inspiration, there is so much of it in this book. But tell me about what you are going to cook for us today. One of the recipes that I have here, I'll find the right page.
Yeah, so I'm going to do one of the simple recipes. So it's going to be griddled chicken with chorizo and butter bean mash. So it's a chicken breast, and what I'm doing here is butterflying it, which means to split it in half.
Yeah.
And by doing that, it cooks a lot quicker, and also, because it cooks so quickly, it keeps it super moist inside.
Because some people think that chicken can be, particularly chicken breast, can be a bit boring and a bit dry.
Exactly.
So salt, pepper, and
a little bit of
basil, so that you can see you've
olive
got
oil.
a bit of olive oil on it as well.
Not too much, otherwise it's just going to smoke as soon as it hits the pan. And then I've got a hot griddle pan that goes straight on, and I'm going to cook it probably for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Flip it over, and it will take 2 more minutes, and it'll be done.
Be done, right. Well, that's just going to be ready to finish ready to eat as we finish then.
Exactly. I'm just going to wash my hands.
Oh, OK. All right, yes, because, of course, you touched the raw chicken. Let me take you through a few more of the photos. You've got different sections, starting with soup and salads. We've got fish and meat, and, of course, we've got puddings. Look at that. A classic pudding, simply delicious. There's your bread and butter pudding, lovely glaze on it. I have to... pears as well, if you're looking for something healthy. I have to show you the chocolate pudding. Can you imagine that? Can you just imagine your spoon going into that little bit there? Can you see that little runny bit as the ice cream is melting into it? That is absolutely decadent and gorgeous. It's stunning. The post and packing is included in your payment for this. But this is another nice one. There's lots of hints and tips in this. We've got roasted vegetables here. That just looks great as any accompaniment to fish or meat, doesn't it? But some of the tips that you put here, cooking and glazing vegetables with chicken stock maximises their flavour. Only a small quantity of stock is added. As it cooks and the stock reduces, the flavours are intensified and the vegetables become sticky and glazed. Now, that's a tip that I've used 3 times since I read the book. Yeah. It's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. Rather than cooking vegetables just in water and it dilutes the flavour of the vegetables, the chicken stock kind of intensifies it, but doesn't actually make it taste like chicken. No. It just sort of enhances the vegetable.
It enhances the vegetable flavour,
exactly.
Yes, exactly, which is stunning. And the book is absolutely full of tips like that. What are you doing now?
So in there, I've got the butter beans. So tinned butter beans, a little bit of water to heat them up. Can they hear me?
Can we hear? Just about.
OK, good. 1 clove of garlic and a little bit of olive oil, just blend it up into a puree.
This is actually a very balanced, a very healthy meal, and you're getting the satisfaction from the texture of this.
Yeah.
So was that hot water you put in there?
Yeah, hot water. tinned butter beans, I'm going to add a little bit more extra virgin olive oil and garlic.
And
that
this is
it.
actually instead of mashed potato.
Exactly, yeah. And, you know, the recipe book, it is all about simple recipes that anyone can cook. But actually, for each one, sort of... let's see. There we go.
Yeah.
Sort of, you know, I've been cooking for 25 years now in professional kitchens, and we've got loads of kind of tips and tricks which enhances a dish, whether it's simply by changing a couple of ingredients or by cooking slightly differently, or even in presentation,
yes.
which just transforms something very everyday, weekday meal into something spectacular.
And food can be simple but still spectacular. I mean, you're saying simple to sensational. A lot of these recipes are both.
Yes.
Yeah, they're simple and sensational. They're simply sensational. In right, so shall I do that while you do
yes, please.
While you're doing, I can do this bit.
Flip the chicken over. So in there, I've just got some red and yellow peppers.
Yeah.
A little bit of chorizo, some red wine, not red wine, some sherry vinegar, and I've just gently cooked it off. Yeah, perfect.
Thank you. Made my day. Right, I've got your book in the wrong place. There are things here that you'll think, oh, I've done that before. I know I can cook that. But then you'll read it and you'll find, I mean, some of the pasta dishes, for instance, very simple. You've got a whole section of rice and pasta. A lot of them are very simple, but as you say, just little tweaks, lasagna, but not as we know it. This one, I think, sounds great. Penne with spinach, pine nuts and ricotta. When I'm in a rush and want a quick dinner, this is what I cook at home. It'll take you almost as long to read the recipe as it takes to cook the pasta, about 8 minutes. Sometimes 8 minutes is all you can spare before you need to eat, and that's going to be the perfect recipe. But when you want to impress a little bit more, or you've got a touch more time, just transform that one, the simple recipe, into cannelloni of spinach, pine nuts and ricotta with semi-dried tomatoes. And you make here you start making a little sauce with the sun-dried tomatoes, and you add a bit of garlic, and there's so much that you can do with this book. And that's your butter bean mash.
Yeah, it's just a nice alternative to potatoes.
Exactly. And it's actually very healthy. If you didn't have butter beans, could you use another pulse that you might have?
Yeah, you could use chickpeas, you can use lentils, anything pre-cooked in a tin. Just drain it off, wash it, and then blend it up with some olive oil and garlic.
And then this is the pepper and chorizo.
Exactly. Just red and yellow peppers, sweat it off with some chorizo.
Got a bit of onion in there as well?
Yeah, and red onion. Exactly.
And it's so colourful. Oh, I can...
You can really smell it, can't you?
And the vinegar is giving it a slight sort of sweet sharpness.
Yeah. And then just the chicken. See how quickly that cooks.
That's great, isn't it?
And it's crispy on the outside and really succulent on the inside.
And sort of almost steamed on the inside because you've done it so quickly, so it really keeps that moisture.
Exactly.
And what's on the top of the chicken?
Some basil.
Basil, great.
How long do we have?
How long do we have? I don't know. I'm going to get a knife and fork in preparation for this. Does it need a bit? We've got as long as it needs to cook, so... And you've got a lemon there as well. Little things like a squeeze of lemon can really lift the flavour, can't they?
Over the top, and that is it.
So whether it's tea time, whether for the children or for... it could be just a simple tea or breakfast or lunch. It could also be a dinner party. You've got recipes that you could use for all sorts of entertaining through the summer as well.
Definitely. And the whole idea of it was you could learn the simple recipes during the week for a midweek supper. And then once you have the confidence to do that, then it's only a couple of tips or tricks or changing ingredients.
Little steps.
To transform that meal for the weekend to entertain your friends and family.
Oops. That was fantastic. From start to finish, in front of you and me, a whole meal cooked in just a few moments, and it's so tasty. That's fabulous. You're an absolute star. Thank you very much. We'll have you back on the morning show whenever you like, and thanks for the omelette earlier as well.
Pleasure.
Just go for this. You've got your 30-day money-back guarantee, but honestly, you're not going to be using it. You're going to be so inspired. These are very reachable recipes that you will be able to cook, but they're also going to actually make you fired up with energy, and you're not going to be saying, what's for tea again, because you'll know. This is brilliant. 703 515 is your item number. I know it's rude to talk with your mouth full, but I've got to say now, it's over to Craig. I'll see you in a moment.